You've been eating wrong your entire life, and it's literally killing you faster than it should. I know that sounds harsh, but stay with me because what I'm about to share could add decades to your life. My name is Monk Shi Yan Ling. I'm almost 80 years old, and I can still do things that people half my age cannot. I wake up every morning without pain, without medication, and with more energy than most 30-year-olds. Meanwhile, my cousins, my siblings, people I grew up with who ate the modern way, they're gone, dead. Or they're living on a cocktail of pills just to get through the day, suffering from diabetes, heart disease, and cancer. The difference between them and me isn't genetics, it isn't luck, and it isn't some mystical meditation technique. It's what I put on my plate every single day. And today, I'm going to reveal the ancient eating secrets that monks have used for thousands of years to outlive everyone around them. Let me tell you something that the food industry doesn't want you to know. Every time you eat processed food, chemically altered food, or anything that comes in a package with ingredients you can't pronounce, you're shortening your life. You're not just eating food anymore, you're consuming laboratory experiments designed to make you addicted, sick, and dependent on the medical system. But here's the beautiful truth. Mother Earth has already given us everything we need to live long, disease-free lives. The superfoods that monks have been eating for centuries aren't exotic or expensive. They're simple, whole foods that work in harmony with your body instead of against it. And the science is finally catching up to what we monks have known all along. Let's start with something I eat every single day: leafy green vegetables. Now, I'm not talking about the wilted lettuce on your burger. I'm talking about dark, nutrient-dense greens like bok choy, mustard greens, and Chinese broccoli. Scientists have discovered that these greens are absolutely loaded with something called nitrates, not the bad kind you find in processed meats, but natural nitrates that your body converts into nitric oxide. This compound literally opens up your blood vessels, improves circulation, and protects your heart. A study published in the European Journal of Epidemiology followed over 50,000 people for 23 years and found that those who ate just 1 cup of leafy greens per day had a 26% lower risk of heart disease. That's not some small improvement. That's a life or death difference. My brother never ate his greens, always preferred meat and fried foods. He died of a heart attack at 62. I'm almost 80, and my heart is strong as an ox. Now let me tell you about mushrooms, specifically medicinal mushrooms like shiitake, maitake, and reishi. In the monastery, we've been using these for soup and tea for as long as anyone can remember. Modern science has now proven what we always knew. These mushrooms are powerful immune system boosters. They contain beta-glucans, complex sugars that actually train your immune system to recognize and destroy cancer cells and viruses more effectively. Research from the University of Florida showed that people who ate shiitake mushrooms daily for 4 weeks had significant improvements in their immune function, with better T-cell function and reduced inflammation. I've eaten mushrooms almost every day of my life. I rarely get sick, not even a common cold. My sister, who lived in the city and ate convenience foods, battled cancer twice before it finally took her at 68. The connection is undeniable. Legumes and beans are another cornerstone of the monk diet that science has validated as a true superfood. Lentils, mung beans, black beans. These simple foods are protein powerhouses that also deliver massive amounts of fiber, folate, and resistant starch. What makes them special is how they feed your gut microbiome, the trillions of beneficial bacteria in your intestines that control everything from your mood to your immune system. A major study in the journal Nutrients found that people who eat beans regularly have lower body weight, smaller waist circumference, and significantly lower blood pressure compared to those who don't. But here's what really matters for longevity. Bean eaters have a 7 to 8% reduced risk of death from all causes. Think about that. Something as simple and cheap as beans can reduce your chance of dying from anything by nearly 8%. I've eaten beans in some form nearly every single day of my life. My cousin thought beans were peasant food and preferred expensive steaks and rich foods. He developed type 2 diabetes in his 50s and died from complications at 71. Let's talk about whole grains, specifically brown rice, which has been the foundation of the monastic diet across Asia for millennia. The difference between white rice and brown rice is the difference between dead calories and living nutrition. When they strip away the bran and germ to make white rice, they remove 90% of the vitamins, 80% of the minerals, and all of the fiber. Brown rice, on the other hand, is loaded with magnesium, selenium, and manganese, minerals that most people are deficient in. Harvard researchers followed over 200,000 people and found that those who ate brown rice regularly had an 11% lower risk of type 2 diabetes compared to those who ate white rice. Even better, substituting just 1/3 of a serving of white rice with brown rice was associated with a 16% lower risk. I've never had blood sugar problems, never had diabetes, never even had pre-diabetes. Meanwhile, diabetes has become an epidemic among people eating the modern processed diet. The solution isn't medication, it's going back to eating grains the way Mother Earth made them, whole and unprocessed. Nuts and seeds are tiny packages of concentrated life force, and they've been part of the monk diet forever. Walnuts, almonds, sesame seeds, pumpkin seeds, these aren't just snacks, they're medicine. The scientific research on nuts is so overwhelming that even conservative medical organizations now recommend them. A massive study published in the New England Journal of Medicine that tracked over 120,000 people for 30 years found something remarkable. People who ate nuts daily lived longer. Period. They had a 20% lower death rate compared to those who never ate nuts. The benefits weren't small. They saw reduced deaths from heart disease, cancer, and respiratory disease. Nuts are packed with healthy fats, plant sterols, and antioxidants that protect every cell in your body. I eat a handful of nuts almost every day, usually walnuts or almonds. My joints don't ache, my brain is sharp, and I have no signs of the cognitive decline that affects so many elderly people. Compare that to my childhood friend who loved sweets and chips instead of nuts. He developed dementia in his early 70s and didn't recognize his own children before he passed. Fermented foods are another secret weapon in the monk longevity arsenal. Kimchi, fermented vegetables, miso, these probiotic-rich foods do something that no pill can replicate. They populate your gut with beneficial bacteria that protect you from disease. Your gut isn't just about digestion, it's the command center for your entire immune system. Scientists now know that 70 to 80% of your immune tissue is located in your gut. When you eat fermented foods regularly, you're essentially upgrading your body's defense system. Research published in Cell showed that a diet high in fermented foods significantly reduced inflammation markers in the blood and increased the diversity of gut microbes. This matters because chronic inflammation is the root cause of almost every age-related disease: heart disease, Alzheimer's, arthritis, cancer. cancer, all of them are driven by inflammation. I've eaten fermented vegetables with nearly every meal for decades. At almost 80 years old, I have no chronic inflammation, no arthritis, no autoimmune problems. My nephew, who lived on hamburgers and soda, developed rheumatoid arthritis in his 40s and has been in constant pain ever since. Here's something most people don't understand about monk eating. It's not just about what we eat, but also about what we don't eat. We don't eat processed oils, refined sugars, artificial colors and flavors, chemical preservatives, or frankenfood created in laboratories. Every ingredient in a monk's meal could have been eaten by humans 1,000 years ago. This is crucial because your body has not evolved to process the chemical cocktail that makes up modern processed food. When you eat something with 20 ingredients you can't pronounce, your body goes into crisis mode, triggering inflammation, oxidative stress, and hormonal chaos. Over decades, this accumulates into the chronic diseases that are now considered normal parts of aging. But they're not normal. They're the result of eating abnormal food. I've never eaten a TV dinner, never had a meal from a fast food restaurant, never consumed artificial sweeteners or diet anything. This isn't deprivation, it's protection. It's choosing to work with my body instead of against it. Turmeric and ginger are two powerful roots that we use liberally in monastery cooking, and modern science has revealed why they're so valuable for longevity. Curcumin, the active compound in turmeric, is one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory substances in nature. It's been shown in hundreds of studies to reduce inflammation at the cellular level, protect brain cells from aging, and even show anti-cancer properties. A study in the American Journal of Geriatric Psychiatry found that curcumin supplements improved memory and mood in people with mild memory complaints. Ginger, meanwhile, has been shown to reduce muscle pain, lower blood sugar levels, and fight infections. I add both turmeric and ginger to my tea and cooking almost daily. My mind is clear, my memory is excellent, and I have none of the foggy thinking that many elderly people experience. The antioxidants in these roots have been protecting my brain cells for nearly 80 years, and the results speak for themselves. Green tea is another daily ritual that separates the long-lived from the short-lived. In the monastery, we drink green tea throughout the day, not for caffeine, but for the incredible health compounds it contains. The most important of these is EGCG, a catechin that has been extensively studied for its life-extending properties. Japanese researchers who studied over 40,000 adults found that those who drank 5 or more cups of green tea per day had a 26% lower risk of death during the 11-year study period. The tea drinkers had significantly fewer deaths from heart disease and stroke. Other research has shown that green tea drinkers have better brain function in old age, lower risk of type 2 diabetes, and even increased fat burning. I've been drinking green tea every day since I was a young monk. I sleep well, I stay lean without effort, and my cardiovascular system works beautifully. It's not magic. It's simply giving your body the protective compounds it needs to defend itself against aging and disease. The beautiful truth that I want you to understand is this: you have more control over your lifespan and health span than you've been led to believe. The modern medical system wants you to think that disease is inevitable, that you'll need their pills and procedures as you age. But that's only true if you continue eating the toxic standard diet that most people consume. When you eat the way monks eat, the way humans ate for thousands of years before food became industrialized, your body knows exactly what to do. It heals itself, it maintains itself, it protects itself. You don't need exotic supplements or expensive treatments. You need to stop poisoning yourself with processed garbage and start nourishing yourself with the whole foods that Mother Earth has provided. I'm living proof that this works. At almost 80 years old, I have the energy and health that would be remarkable for someone 20 years younger. I don't take any medications. I don't have diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, or any of the conditions that doctors say are just part of getting old. Meanwhile, the people I grew up with who ate the modern way, they're gone or they're suffering. The difference isn't my genes, it's my choices. Every single meal is either moving you toward disease or toward health. There is no neutral. Processed food is not just empty calories, it's actively destroying your body's ability to function properly. Whole food is not just fuel, it's information that tells your cells to thrive and repair and stay young. Now, I know that changing your diet can feel overwhelming, especially if you've been eating processed foods your whole life. Your taste buds have been hijacked by salt, sugar, and chemical flavors designed to be addictive. Your schedule might feel too busy for real cooking. You might not know where to start or how to make these ancient superfoods taste good. That's exactly why I've created a comprehensive guide that takes everything I've learned in nearly 80 years of eating for longevity and breaks it down into simple, practical steps that anyone can follow. This isn't a diet book full of restriction and suffering. This is a blueprint for eating delicious, satisfying food that happens to add years to your life and life to your years. In my secret superfood longevity guide, I share the exact meals I eat, the specific preparation methods that maximize nutrition, the food combinations that work synergistically to boost your health, and the simple daily practices that have kept me disease-free for nearly 8 decades. I've also included the science behind each superfood, so you understand exactly how it's protecting and healing your body. This is the knowledge that has been passed down in monasteries for generations, now validated by modern research and organized into a system you can start using immediately. If you're tired of feeling tired, if you're watching your health decline and being told it's just aging, if you want to take control of your longevity instead of leaving it to chance, this guide is for you. Click the link in the description below to get your copy of the Secret Superfood Longevity Guide. This is the same eating approach that has allowed me to reach almost 80 years old with perfect health, while my relatives who ate modern processed food have already passed away or are suffering from chronic disease. You can choose a different path. You can choose to nourish your body with the powerful whole foods that Mother Earth has provided. You can choose to live longer, healthier, and happier. The choice is yours, but you have to make it now, with every meal, every day. Stop slowly poisoning yourself with fake food and start truly nourishing yourself with real food. Your future self will thank you for the decision you make today. Click that link, get the guide, and start your journey toward the vibrant longevity that should be your birthright. I'll see you on the other side, living long and living well.